Bam.
We're red.
Red is dead. On. All systems go.
Okay, so I screwed it up a little bit, but
It's okay.
there we go. Now you can play the keyboards. All right. Now we're back.
Now we're back.
I did it wrong.
This episode is titled Technical Difficulties.
Right. Whatever. Okay. You know what? And I haven't even had a sip of tequila yet. So
What?
whatever. Fucked it up with our fancy new equipment, but whatever.
And that's all behind the scenes. You guys can't even see that.
So we decided Charlie's having tequila and a beer. I'm having tequila with my ginger ale.
Take one bourbon, one shot, and one beer. Wait, is that it?
Yeah. Yep. It is George Thorogood.
What? So that's funny. He says a shot. He doesn't actually say what it is.
Have you listened to that song from beginning to end?
Oh, yeah. I love that song. It's like 6 minutes long.
The first two minutes are kind of...
Standing on a corner, leaning on a post.
Right.
Well, I was tired.
All right. So that camera doesn't work.
No, it does. All I got to do is just press it whenever it falls asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit.
Oh, wait. I have a good question for the 8-ball. So, 8-ball.
Hang on. It's December 20th.
Is it?
Yep. I'm Chris.
I'm Charlie.
We are.
8-ball.
There you go.
Yes, we are.
So you have a question for the 8-ball.
Yes, so I think we should do a reveal. So you should switch to this camera, and then I'm going to reveal what it is. And I'm going to ask the 8-ball before we reveal it if it's true. So 8-ball, is what's on the screen
I didn't see
true?
what you had till just now.
Here we go.
Payback's a bitch.
Without a doubt. You heard it here, folks. The
Oh my gosh.
8-ball says without a doubt. And to reveal what the screen says, I don't know, Chris, do you want to pull that up for us so I can do a dramatic reveal? It says without a doubt. I'm not lying.
Payback is a bitch.
Yeah, take that, Brian.
Oh my gosh.
And that wasn't me. That was just the 8-ball spoke. So I proved my point.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Payback's a bitch. Sorry, bud.
Fight me, bro.
Go in the ring of death.
So I got my my fire out of the way. What's on tap for this episode? I mean, not as though we don't do show prep. No,
I failed to remember to watch the Democrat debate, but I got a couple highlights out of it. Oh, and Lizzie Borden.
Pocahontas.
Damn.
Elizabeth Warren.
I had it committed to memory.
Elizabeth
Lizzie Borden killed her mother with 40 whacks. Something gave her father 41. Anyway, and she was actually tried for the murder of her mom and dad.
All right.
And acquitted somehow. And this was in the 1800s. Damn! I'll pull it up when we're going, or you can pull it up on the machine. But a couple of outtakes from the Democrat debate. But you wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, we got to move the chaka hand onto your. There we go. You wanted to talk about impeachment a little bit.
Yeah. So it's funny. My little brother and I were hanging out today, and he goes, "That impeachment shit's so funny, bro." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess whatever. I don't know. What's been going on." And he's like, "Trump got impeached," and I was like, "I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard anything about that." So I'm failing as a.
It was Brandon.
Yeah, Brennan. Yeah.
Or Brennan.
Yeah. Okay. Quick question. How would you say the word like experiment?
Experiment.
Yes. Thank you.
Versus what?
Experiment. Experiment.
Like Wrigley's gum?
Yes. Spearmint gum. Spare tire. Experiment. I don't see like experiment. It's like, is that a fucking Like a Michigan thing?
It's EXP. ERIMENT. Experiment. Is that how he's kind of saying it?
Experiment. So he's saying
Right.
it as though it has the word spear in the middle. Like a
Experiment.
experiment.
What did I say?
Experiment.
Now my brain's like programmed.
This is something that bothers me. Like it like triggers me.
Experiment.
Uh,
Experiment.
People at my office frequently say the word verbiage instead of
Yeah,
verbiage.
you said this verbiage.
Drives me fucking nuts. And every time I'm like, it's fucking verbiage. But you know,
Often.
it's very often that they do that.
Often.
Yeah, it
Offer,
happens a lot.
honor. All right.
This one's to honor.
We're already losing the
all right,
audience.
so-
So like, all right, these guys are babbling, man. Who are these people?
This is funny, but I'm not there with you to enjoy it. I don't. What? All right, so here we go. News article: Fox top Dems in contention to prosecute Trump impeachment case if it goes to trial. So they're just voting on whether or not they're going to have an impeachment.
Whether there's going
Trial.
to be a trial.
Right. So Brennan's like, my little brother goes, he's impeached. That's it. And I was like, I would have fucking heard about that. I don't, he was like,
No, the House votes whether or not to impeach him, and then it goes to the Senate
for trial.
and they conduct a trial,
Yeah.
and for him to be convicted of whatever. So the impeachment is like an indictment process. It's
Yeah.
almost like a grand jury. And they say, yes, we're going to charge him with X, and in this case it's X and Y. And so then the Senate conducts the trial, and there has to be a 2/3 vote to convict him.
So the people often mix up that impeachment isn't the actual charge. It's just the act of charging somebody with.
Oh, forever. That's always been misunderstood.
And
yeah.
it's, yeah.
So yes, he's impeached.
Yeah.
He's impeached.
Yeah. Yes, he's going to, they're going to, yeah. And do you see Mitch McConnell fucking, like, the Democrats want us to have witnesses. He's like, nope, we're not doing that. No, we're not bringing witnesses to the stand. Why would we make the Democrats' job harder?
Oh,
Shit like that.
I have to, I don't know if redact is the right word, but
A weekend update, you call it.
a weekend update. No, but last week I talked about guys voting, consistent with their constituency.
Yeah.
But you know what they need to vote? They need to vote the truth.
Well, because
You
like
don't
this-
vote. You don't vote what your people think you want to vote. You got to vote like right and wrong, and so
Yeah.
I was actually incorrect on that.
there's a saying.
Anyway.
It's like there's two things about, the truth is like the sunrise. It'll always come, or whatever the fuck it is. It'll always come out or some shit.
Here's a good saying: if you want a fair deal, go to a whorehouse. No,
Unless they rob you, they steal your wallet off the nightstand. I've heard that happens. I don't know from experience. Definitely not. Chris is thinking, but nothing's happening.
no, it was about like what happens in a courthouse. So if you want a fair deal, go to a whorehouse. If you something in a courthouse, damn it, we are just fucking this episode up.
We,
Me.
I'm keeping this train rolling, baby.
Oh, I thought of some. Okay. I didn't even.
First time
I
for
wasn't, Yeah, there we go. It has everything to do with this. We talked about like being, getting older and losing your creativity. So here's what I came up with. You know what? When you're young, you don't have experience, so you got to make shit up, and that just gets labeled creativity. Because when you're older, you know things, and you don't have to make shit up. You've got the experience, so you make informed decisions.
Well, yeah. And
So it's just a misunderstood concept. Young people aren't creative.
no, it's just because you don't know. You're still trying to explain stuff. You just don't know how.
Young people are just throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks because they don't know, and it's being mislabeled as creativity.
And what's ironic about this hypothesis is that it's a hypothesis and not a fact. So you're doing what young people do constantly right now.
No, because
No.
because I'm right. I'm simply right.
My logic is undeniable.
It's binary. It's binary in nature. I'm just right.
I see what you're saying.
There's No, it is a hypothesis, but actually it's kind of interesting
Makes
because I was
sense.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
You need less creativity because you have more to fall back on to get actual like fact and experience based answers.
Well, I was talking about like innovation. So creativity can go on
But
internally.
you don't need to innovate either. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but you fall back on experience and you say, all right, I have all these references. I don't need to innovate. I don't need to make something new. I have this shit to fall back on. Where when you're younger, you're like, I got a problem. I don't got an answer. I got to invent something.
Oh, so old people are lazy. That's what it is. They can just fall
No,
back
it's
on
just
this
the
thing.
opposite.
Safety net.
Old people gather facts that are stored. Young people say, I'm not actually going to go out and seek a solution. I'm just going to make shit up.
I'm talking about affecting real change. You're talking about like how someone thinks about why the sun goes away at night. It's like because the fucking Apollo, the sun god, drives his sun chariot and it fucking disappears. That's like child logic, right? Sorry, Greece.
That's not what I'm saying, but that was well put. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Because I like your answer better than... Let's just end on that.
Fair enough.
It's fun. That one's more fun.
That's what I bring to the show. Other than that,
Youth and fun.
it's hard to say.
What do I bring? Mistakes in the beginning. You got to correct us. Get us back on a path of entertainment. So, here are the two things, and I recorded Elizabeth Warren, and we can do that if we want to. But somehow they got on this thing, and they were just playing snippets, so I don't have the context of it. I just have these, like clickbait moments that were on CNN. And by the way, I'm watching CNN now instead of MSNBC. It's just a new thing for a little while.
It's like gold. You're like, wow, this is amazing. People actually like...
Amazing. Well, it's veiled. They're more veiled than MSNBC and Fox.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you guys are... like, this is the news, Like, at least... I don't even know if I was going to say Tucker Carlson. You watch his show?
Oh, my gosh. I tried him again. I do not care for that guy.
Really? So, okay, let's talk more about this. What bugs you?
The first thing... So when I look at him physically, I see a total rich kid who, just looking at him, kind of pisses me off.
Thinking about what other people have, Chris. Oh, interesting. Wonder who doesn't like that.
No, I just see a snot-nosed brat is what I see. I don't care if you have money. Like I said, do the work. He just looks like a snot-nosed brat. I don't know. I just don't like him. It's just... He's got a shtick, and he's kind of squints his... I just don't like the guy.
He has a similar... It's similar to what Michael Malice is. You're like... He's kind of a fucker. Like, he's kind of a...
He's pandering. Michael Malice is being true to himself. Tucker's running a TV show. Malice would never last on a TV show. People would hate his guts.
He's on Fox all the time.
Yeah, as a guest, not as a host.
An expert on North Korea.
He is... Well, he's been there.
I think I don't know if he claims this, but I think he'd probably be America's, like, foremost expert on the subject. It's a good book, dear reader.
I don't know. He's been there.
Dear reader.
Anyway, so these CNN snippets, the mantra was they were commenting about how government is failing Americans. And Joe Biden's this was maybe 10 or 20 seconds, how it's failing the ordinary person. And I was thinking, my takeaway was, okay, you said it's failing the ordinary person. And basically what he said in so many words was, ordinary people are getting ordinary outcomes. And I was like, makes perfect sense. If you're ordinary and you give it the ordinary effort, the ordinary input, ordinary in, ordinary out. So if you go through life being mediocre and your life turns out mediocre, the system worked.
Yeah.
So what is the United States doing for extraordinary people?
It's allowing them to be extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? Not all extraordinary people have extraordinary outcomes.
No, a lot of them drink themselves to death. Shit like that.
Or whatever.
I'm just saying,
But I mean,
yeah.
Ordinary in, ordinary out. Extraordinary in, you can still have ordinary out, but the outcome's never going to exceed the input. It just doesn't work that way. You're grinding the machine.
Lottery.
But
there's a situation where you're putting ordinary in and getting extraordinary. But it's an expected outcome, so I guess kind of...
Yeah, but again, you're statistically fucked the second you buy that ticket. So
You just became another statistic. That's one of my favorite.
I think it's like 1 in, I don't know, 7 trillion. And so you're more likely to be hit by lightning probably 3, 4, or 5 times.
Well, here's the bullshit stat that I heard. It was you're more likely to be struck by lightning on your way to cash in the ticket than you are to win the lottery. Which, how the fuck could they ever? You can't quantify
Well,
that. But
the likelihood of being struck by lightning is 1 in 170,000. So
still scary. How many Americans are there? 340 million? 330 million?
330. So just double it. So 140,000 add 4 zeros. Right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm working towards.
Neither do I.
4 zeros to... Oh, so it's like 1 in 4,000 people. My quick math, if I'm right. I fuck up my math on here a lot when I go back and watch.
Can't do math. I'm that ceiling guy.
No, you were like 1 in...
I hit a glass ceiling.
No, you got like 1 in 20 or 1 in 21 or whatever it was last time. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, that I got right. That's like I have. It's almost like Rain Man, but it's most of the time I can't do math. Every now and then, it's like, oh, there's 43 toothpicks on the ground or whatever. What the fuck was that?
Right. All right, I got to bring up.
All right, let's talk about something else.
Yes.
Lizzie Borden.
We are wandering.
It's just Pocahontas. Just do that.
Oh, there's Joe.
God, that shit's insane. Did you see the Hunter Biden thing about him? Oh, I'm getting off track. I'm going to put a pin in that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And when you see a government that works great for the wealthy and the well-connected and for no one else, that is corruption, pure and simple, and we need to call it out for what it is.
All right, lots of strong words last night. Much more on that today.
Can I comment?
Wait a minute. She's saying government. Government that works for the wealthy.
So government that doesn't inhibit wealth.
Government doesn't work
Prohibit
for
wealth.
anybody. Capitalism works for the wealthy. Capitalism works for the hard workers. Capitalism, right? The government isn't working for the wealthy. What does that mean?
No, she's saying the government. She's saying a government that only works for the wealthy is not a whatever. She's saying what did she say? It's not a government or it's not a working government.
But
the point, yeah.
So I had this thought out, and now I've since forgotten. I'm so much better in the morning.
Here's what I would say. I'll let you think a little bit. I would say we were just talking about extraordinary people and extraordinary input. It's like the definition of extraordinary, like people who do well and succeed beyond whatever the norm. Middle class people who break their way out of the middle class into the upper class just through hard work and smart investing and being, not a shitbag. To your, people you do business with, you're like doing something that's extraordinary. It's overordinary. You're not being normal. Like, so people are going to be normal. There's no point in being a wealthy, rich guy if everybody can do that. It's like, then it's no big deal and no problem at all. You're going to have people who are at the bottom. It's just how it fucking, and so they're trying to do this thing. They're trying to make everybody have a small house instead of 2 people have a medium house and 1 person have a big house. Have you ever heard that?
Well, that would be like communism, socialism.
That's what I'm saying, and that's who she is too.
Yeah, it is.
And it's fucking. You can't have people who.
I forgot my specific point. I had a specific thought for her this morning, but the point is, government doesn't work for a particular
group,
class.
Supposed to be all encompassing,
right? Is not supposed to create equality of outcome. Right, that's what is good about America.
Equality of not getting shot by a murderer.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's only working for the wealthy. What are you talking about?
The wealthy people figured it out. Is that what you're saying? So the people are just fucking stupid.
National defense and roads and shit like that.
Yeah.
And capitalism provides goods and services and economic opportunity.
Which is surprising because it has the boot of the government on its neck at all times. So
to a degree.
But yeah, the capitalism is giving you food on your table, and the government is stopping foreign invaders and domestic whatever, your own brothers and citizens.
So I got on that and I recorded it. And again, then Joe Biden said the thing about, ordinary people. Ordinary in, ordinary out. Sorry.
I just have to talk about this Joe Biden. I think that's easy enough. If you're going to be fucking ordinary, like you want the government to work for the average American, it's going to be the average American who needs the government's help the most, not the fucking guy who figured out the system and got, to work hard and work his way up. It just bothers me that everybody thinks that everyone can be rich or everyone can be fucking not struggling at some point in their life. Have you heard the term temporary embarrassed millionaire?
No.
It's like, I don't know who said that, but it's like right now, are you poor or are you temporarily embarrassed millionaire? You're just, you're like in a slump right now. So don't think of yourself as a fuck up. Just, see it or believe in it. Believe that you can do that. Don't think, oh, fucking God, I'm Eeyore with AIDS. Everything's sad all the time.
Eeyore with AIDS.
And then,
that's perfect. I got to bring something else up. I don't know if I brought this up ever before to you or in general, but they also talked about wealth disparity being greater now than it's ever been before. And that's such bullshit because in today's dollars, Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller were both worth more than $300 billion in today's dollars. So if you go back to Grapes of Wrath, the Great Depression, that was awful. Today is so fucking prosperous compared to the Great Depression. Wealth disparity back then, oh my God, it was worse. So I found this list of all-time wealthiest people in 2019 or maybe it's 2018 dollars. And so the wealthiest guy ever was Augustus Caesar.
I thought you were going to say Augustus Gloop. I don't know why I still expect you to say that.
Augustus Caesar. So he's like $11 trillion or something like that. Let me pull it up.
The dude has a month named
I wish
after
I would have
him.
had it on there. So here it is. So number one, and this goes back. So, and I'm gonna tell the days they died. So we have Augustus Caesar, a wealth of, and I'm gonna go. They give ranges, so I'm gonna go the low end of the range. $4.6 trillion. He died in 11 A.D. A guy named Jacob Fugger, who
Was a fucker.
died in 1525, 400 billion. Okay? Mansa Musa the First of Mali, so a non-American, and Augustus Caesar, if you don't know, was a Roman, emperor?
Yeah, I would say whatever.
Whatever. He was
Roman,
Caesar.
The Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah. So anyway, Mansa Musa died in 1337. Again, 400 billion. Then John D. Rockefeller, they're given a range here, 253 billion. Andrew Carnegie, American, again, John D. Rockefeller died in 1937. Andrew Carnegie, 310 billion, died in 1919. Nicholas II, a Russian guy, died in 1918, 250 billion. Osman Ali Khan Asif Jaq VII died in 1967. He was in a monarchy. 210 billion.
I was going to say the seventh. Yeah.
Right.
Said 6 other guys worked that up for him.
Little family shit going on there. Probably no inheritance tax. Right.
Keep it in the family. It's easier that way.
Alan Rufus died in 1093.
You say Alan? You mean Alan?
No, I think it's Alan. They got him with a crown on here.
Alan Rufus. Yeah.
Yeah. 165 billion. Cornelius Vanderbilt, American guy, died in 1877, 105 billion. They're giving ranges here. So when I say Bezos, they know he's not a range. They know exactly what he's worth. Basil II, don't know who this guy is, died in 1025, 169 billion. Henry Ford, in today's dollars, 67 billion. His range is 67 to 200. So they're
Wow.
taking the average.
They don't really know.
To arrange these guys. John Jacob Astor, never heard of him, died in 1848, 110 billion. Bezos, currently alive, 125 billion. He's gone up. Stephen Gerrard.
Not anymore.
Stephen Gerrard, haven't heard of him, died in 1831, 105 billion. Bill Gates, still alive, 96 billion. Jason J. Gould, whoever that is, haven't heard of him. He died in 1892, 78 billion. I think that's the top 15. So when you talk about like today's billionaires are the wealthiest guys in the history of the world,
Only two of them are on that list.
And right. So you got Microsoft and Amazon.
And now fucking Bezos is only worth like 60 billion, right? Or what is he worth now?
I don't think the divorce is finalized.
It will be.
But it will be, right. So maybe chop that in half. But so that's fucked up because in today's dollars, it's not right. Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller were worth over $300 billion.
And honestly, that, like, have you ever seen the movie Tinkerbell or God, the boxer, Gerard Butler, isn't it, right? Tinkerbell Man or fucking, what is it? It's like the boxing movie takes place during the Great Depression. It's like he goes from being a rich, whatever, fucking, he's in boxing, he's a rich guy, and then it just transitions into after shit hits the fan, and it's like he's living in a shack, there's no electricity, he's begging for money, and then there's guys like, whatever, Rockefeller, Carnegie around similar time, just being fucking...
Terrell Owens.
The difference is unbelievable.
Terrell Owens, NFL receiver, earned $80 million over his career. He's bankrupt and he lives in an apartment with his girlfriend. He has no money. None.
Did it get stolen from him?
No.
Didn't keep an eye on it?
Bad investments, trusting friends.
Shocker.
He went from $80 million, I don't know what his max net worth was, to like owing shitloads of dough on bad business deals, taking advice from dumbass friends from
You could have just said
his
friends.
childhood. I think somebody who wasted his money, I think dumb is an okay supposition.
No, I'm saying it's implied.
Oh.
Yeah. From his friends, not any financial advisor.
Sorry, but we got to
Yeah.
know your audience.
Good point. Yes. Sorry.
No, we don't
Chris
know.
just jagged you guys pretty hard.
We don't know. It's funny. I asked Crystal. Have you met Crystal?
Yeah.
Sherry's
Oh,
daughter.
yeah, she's great.
I asked her. So do we come off as
Assholes.
I said smarty pants, know it all, snobs, and she was like, "No, you guys are funny."
Good.
So thanks, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
No, she said you guys are funny.
Yeah,
I like
her.
watching.
She's good. Yeah.
But anyway, where were we? Oh, so
Well,
Terrell Owens, whatever. It's funny. One local sportscaster was like, if you're so most NFL guys make something like $3 million in their entire career. Wear a condom. Get a financial advisor. Stay away from the hood.
It's funny. What's Mike Pence's thing is, instead of that, it's just don't be alone in a room with a woman unless you're married to her. It's just like good advice, I guess. I don't know.
You know, it's funny. At work, you just made me think of something. Just a little anecdote here. At work, we host this thing sponsored by the Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah.
And we bring kids in from high schools, and we introduce them into manufacturing. So it's pretty cool. So it starts out, we're on our third meeting, but second event, and they're building a catapult. So we bought these catapult kits. and there were lunch and shit. But we're not there yet. But we started with 30 to 40 minutes beginning, explaining like the automotive business to them, then taking them around the tech center and showing them cool machines and how shit works. And there were these two girls who who go to a local college, and they couldn't, and I'm not sure if people are going to be like, why the fuck should you tell that story? They can't make the next meeting. So I said, I'm going to give you my business card and we'll do a makeup session. You can come here sometime before or after that, because they have a 4 o'clock class, which is when it starts.
Oh.
After the first of the year. And they started to walk in my office, and I remember the training I had for the Boy Scouts. And they're like, you can't have a kid in a room with you. And I'm like, stop. You can't come in here. Like, you guys got to stand outside there. I was just going to give them a business card so they have my phone number.
I was thinking that the whole time, and then I didn't know that story was going. I was like, you're just going to, like, hang out with kids and, like...
And it was two girls, too.
Alone. I was like, what the fuck? There's going to be bad optics, Chris.
Yeah. And they're like, what's Chris doing? I don't know. He's got those two girls in there, and he's, like, handing them business cards.
Yeah, right. Here you go.
Yeah,
this is how important I
the one
am.
girl started, like, they're just following me.
You're like,
Yeah. I'm like, whoa.
No one's going to fucking... I learned from Louis C.K., you know? A wise man learns from his friends.
Okay. That guy's not wise, but anyway.
I said a wise man learns from, well, more or less the mistakes of others.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, so where's this going? Or is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story. But I was like, oh my gosh. That right there could have been bad. I probably, had that been shared, I probably would have been taken off the team. Because, that's a huge violation.
Yeah. That's just...
That's one of the things.
That's why I feel like... Do you know any of your buddies who, like, just don't like... They're not married, maybe, don't have kids, maybe? Just don't like being around kids for that reason? It's like, I just don't want anything to fucking do with it because there's trouble to be had there.
I don't have any buddies like that. I do know some people who don't care for kids.
Oh,
but it's generally younger kids. They're just, like, screaming. They're like, I just don't have the energy.
Like,
Babies are sticky and kids are noisy. Teenagers are know-it-alls, and I just want nothing to do with any of them.
I, like, thinking about being a dad one day and having, like, a baby, whatever, the worst part of it in my mind is typically, you know, like having to clean shit off of their bodies. And then I'm like, oh, not like after they learn how to do that themselves, then they go into this phase where they're just fucking assholes for 5 years. It's just like you just have fucking a douchebag living in your house.
So I have no biological kids of my own, right? And Sherry's daughters had grandkids that varied in age through our relationship, that went from, in the beginning of our relationship, the oldest kid was, I don't know, 10-ish, 12-ish.
So right before that point.
Well, no, so the point being, so 10-ish, 3, 4-ish, and that's where it started. And no, actually, when it started, it was like 7-ish and newborn, because we went and visited one of the girls in the hospital after she had a baby. And then, so over 14 years, other babies. So at the end, it was like 20-ish, 20-plus-ish to babies and several kids in between. I'm not sure, if my life had gone the traditional route, if having kids would have been rewarding.
I think you have to wait until they're in their 20s. Because, like, everything before then is a fuck-up.
Then having kids isn't rewarding. Once they get to adulthood and all the bullshit's behind it, then it was cool. That just means hang out with 20-year-olds.
No, it's not what that means. I'm saying you're like, everything before you become like a 20-year-old is a test run. It's like you're allowed to fuck up this many times and do me wrong because I got your back because you're my biological son.
Again, so I would say, so there's 20 years of pain, a shitload of money that you could have spent on yourself or other stuff, Just hang out with somebody else's 20-year-olds
But
and fuck all the other bullshit.
but there's like an evolutionary like need to fucking dominate the world, and like your offspring is part of that because you can't do that on your own.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, but if you take me, like I'm kind of an exception in the people I hang out with. You can be the exception, right?
You can be the except, but
Right.
you also want your.
I helped baptize you.
Oh, that's
right?
why I'm so fucked up.
So I didn't. So you described like babies covered in shit. I never changed one of your diapers.
You're like, nope. Yeah, just kidding.
I never saw a side of you that I wasn't amused by, right? I didn't have to live with the the Charlie that may have been a pain in the ass.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
There you go.
It's a real fucker sometimes.
And now you're smart and fun to hang out with. So okay.
And I'm making money. So it's like dad's side. Chris is my godfather. For nobody who
Okay,
knows.
if you're going down that route, what's my benefit there?
The point is, like if. Here's what I think happens
There's
with
an
people's
easy
mind.
answer for you.
Here's what I think that
There's
happens.
an easy answer for you. I'm gonna box the laptop.
I'll box that laptop.
There you go.
I'm gonna box that laptop. But the next,
Giving an easy out here.
I'm not making any money. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
My point. Well, this is kind of a side note, and then I'll jump back into that. It's with your thing, like you don't know if going back, like doing the traditional way would have been rewarding. I don't know if people. You don't know that beforehand. You just think it's going to be good, and then when you're in it, you can't back out.
Oh,
That's-
I totally agree with that.
So like you're just like, oh my god, I have this living thing now. I can't just fucking get rid of it.
I
Well,
agree,
some
and I'll
people
tell
do
you a
do
story.
that.
So I was playing devil's advocate as much as anything else.
Yeah.
So I parked cars for a downtown restaurant when I was in college, and we had a party. The guy who owned the parking company had a friend who had a house like 2 doors down from the Manugia Mansion, right on the Detroit River. So we all got invited down and we hung out, and this has little to do with my point, but there's this cool party for the boat races, the hydroplane races on the Detroit River. Then there was this guy Munch, and he, very Catholic family, got his girlfriend pregnant junior, senior of high school. And he was working his way, paying, so he got his girlfriend pregnant, Catholic, had the baby. His parents were like, all right, you fucked up, so we're not paying for college now, and you're doing everything on your own. So he's parking cars, working his way through college. And so at the time, I was probably 20, and at the time, he was maybe 25. And I saw him with his little daughter, and she was maybe 6 months into walking, so 2-ish. And Munch was a cool guy, a fun guy, a party guy. You know, he went to Catholic Central.
CC, what?
Yeah. And he really loved his wife. So I mean, there's no regret. Maybe the timing wasn't how we would have had it in life, but seeing him in his early or mid 20s with his little girl, and he was a neat guy, I was like, I want to have kids as young as I possibly can, because I saw a young man with like youth energy with a youth, and it was neat. It was neat. So this guy loved his little daughter.
Well, that's awesome. That's how I feel about it. And I always think about how scary, like I'm 22 right now. I'll be 23 in a couple months. Like my dad was 24, right? When he had Lainey, or 25,
What?
24.
Yeah, you know,
It's like blows my mind. I'm like, I can't have a kid in 2 years. I don't even know if someone I could convince to do that with me in 2 years.
yeah, but he started dating your mom when they were 19.
Right. So, oh, really? Okay. 5 years. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
20.
20. Okay. That's a good amount of time. I'm just saying, like, had that been the plan, maybe, but like 24 years old, being a dad, like I'm still a fuck up in so many ways. Like 1 year from today, I'm going to watch this episode and I'll be like, God damn, I was so stupid.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're gonna be
your
like, such
dad
moron.
bought his starter house
Yeah.
in the neighborhood that my parents built their dream house in their 50s,
When did he buy that house?
before their marriage.
So I'm even a
They
bigger
moved-
fuck up than I thought. Oh my God.
They moved into that house after their honeymoon.
Yeah. Killer. It's
Yeah.
in my blood. That's why you have kids, because if you're a killer, then you can have killer children.
So your dad used to say to me, so I'm over there. I don't remember if this was pre or post accident. I don't remember how many kids. I don't remember the timing. But anyway, there were 4 of you, and you were young. Okay? And I'm like,
So this is at 31 or 32 years old.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be post accident. So I said, like 4 kids, man. Wow. And he goes, I'd have 14.
Yeah.
He's like, if Julie would let me, I would have as many kids as I possibly could. And I said, why is that? He said, because I wake up in the morning, I leave, and I'm gone for 6, 8, 10 hours. I come home, and I get attacked by these 4 little people who love me, and it's just awesome chaos. And he's like, I don't have to deal with the hard part.
Yeah.
I come home to,
Sorry, Mom, if you ever see this.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
your dad won't care and your mom won't disagree. And he's like, Julie has to deal with all the tough stuff during the day.
Yeah.
And I come home and they're like diving on my legs.
You're like, we're fucking sick and tired of Mom.
No, it's just dad's home, dad's home.
No,
It's
I'm
like,
right,
It's
yeah.
like the dogs at the door, like Papa's
Yeah.
home, woo,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's like, they're diving on my legs. I'm shaking them off. He's like, 4 is fun. 10 would probably be, 2.5 times the fun.
And they still talk about that to this day. They say, we had kids to have a family, not to, like,
Propagate the species.
yeah, right. It was like we just did it to, to have a, a good family, big family, whatever. 4 was a good number. I think there was a plan to do more, but I don't know.
At 4, he was like, Julie has said no. So maybe just like the work around the house.
You
know,
don't see 4
And she was helping with the businesses.
a lot.
A lot.
She was involved, yeah, hands on.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they switched. So, he stayed at home and did all the, like when we were all in high school and shit.
Yeah, that was way later in the process, after dirty diapers and screaming chaos. And
Which
all
I
that.
said before this conversation, I said that would be the harder part. 'Cause you're just dealing with like a retard who just poops on himself. It's fine. It's easy.
Yeah, right,
You just
right.
have to stop him from killing himself or
Right,
breaking
like
his
I
arm.
said, babies are sticky.
Yeah, right.
Once
yeah.
you get past the stickiness.
It's like a teenager can be fucking like spiteful. It's like that's the worst thing ever. It's scary.
Right.
I don't know. And that's
And you still got to help them.
you're like, God,
You fuckers.
I wish I liked you more. Okay, I don't want my name in the news. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's sit down and finish this homework assignment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where you're going with that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
That's why I mean I want to have kids, not to propagate the species, whatever. First, the family thing matters to me a lot, but like also like wife right now, a question mark on her face. It's like I want to be a good dad, to an unknown, someone that I don't even know will exist yet. Isn't that weird? Like I want,
Not at all.
I
Not at
like
all.
that's
That's a value system. That's a good thing.
yeah. Like the way that I think about my dad, I'm like he's the greatest person I've ever known. It's just because I've had a lot of time with him, and he's extraordinary. He's a genius. He's got all this shit going on. I just want to be that kind of an influence for someone that can benefit from it. Someone who's not like, yeah, Charlie, I'm listening
Yeah,
to you. They're like playing fucking
and that
video.
has reward that's immeasurable.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, and I don't know, so I can't put a value on that. And so that's unfortunate for me. But at this stage in my life, and given all the circumstances,
You have a godson. It's basically a son.
I got a podcast partner.
Podcast partner.
Here's something funny. I put all these long-winded topics in here for this week. I just was like puking shit onto here. This is why I need like flashcards. I wrote, people think Charlie and I are really snobby, but what we are is really honest. Everyone judges everyone else. You grew up with money and you had it easy.
Yes, I did.
Some of this is lost in the translation of the phone. You're a hillbilly and you don't get it.
True.
You're not smart. You're worth last. I don't know. Fuck, what does this mean?
You're worth less.
Anyway,
Were you drunk when you wrote this? This seems kind of
no,
angry.
this is in the morning. No,
Oh.
I am so clear and so concise and so crisp.
So Chris.
Puh. Anyway,
You're kind of dwelling on that topic. We've talked about that a few times on here. Chris just hates poor people.
I hate no.
He comes up. Oh, I'm on TV.
All right.
Just kidding.
Here's something we've never talked about. To put things into order. So I've told you, and I'm not really interested in disclosing my income, but so every year for many, many, many years, I have paid tens of thousands of dollars in income tax. Not in total, every fucking year.
Yeah.
Okay. There are people, as we talk about very often, that they're worried about what other people have and or resent what other people have. And most of it comes down to money because stuff is just part of the equation of what money got you. Okay? You know what I resent? I resent people who have that notion and want to raise taxes. So if you don't work, you know what I resent? Your fucking free time. Because given my situation, my day is roughly 4 hours longer than everybody else's. So you know what I have none of? I have almost zero free time. On the weekends, when I'm caught up on my personal stuff, I have some free time. On weekdays, I get up at 4:30 in the fucking morning, go as fast as I can to get to work between 8:30 and 10 a.m., depending on my day. And that's literally the range. I have a 90-minute question mark on how hard my morning's going to be as to what time I get into work. Then I fucking work, and I get home between 5:30 and 6:30, and I work out 90% of the time on weekdays. Then I make dinner, clean up, and by then it's 8:30, and I can barely keep my fucking eyes open. I usually fall asleep somewhere between the kitchen and my bed because I don't have the energy to do what it takes to get into bed.
Yeah. I was doing that for a while.
Then I wake up between 10 and midnight. I go to bed, and fucking 4 or 5 hours later, I wake up and I do it again. And you want my money. You know what I want? I want your fucking time. So if you're not doing what I'm doing, so if you want free money from me, then I want your time. So come over because I can't mow my lawn, I can't pay my house, I can't wash my screens, I can't do almost anything you do to keep up a house. So get your fucking ass over here, and I get your free time in exchange for you getting my money. And if you said that to people, all right. So
You're assigned to a taxpayer?
So my with the new tax code, I did the math, and with all my deductions, I paid 21% in federal income tax. And it is what it is, but that's the number, okay? So I want 21% of your free time. Come the fuck over here and mow my lawn, paint my house, clean my deck.
I never thought about that. I wonder how many times that's been.
Right? So if you have you want something you don't have that I have, and you want somebody with fucking... I can't avoid having taxes taken out of my paycheck. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So if somebody came to your house and fucking physically took you and brought you here more or less against your will right. until you conceded that I can't fight this and said rake leaves or you're going to jail, how would they feel about it then?
It's very, very different. Yeah.
Isn't that an interesting concept?
I've never thought about it like that.
You got free time. So let's be egalitarian about the whole fucking thing. So we're going to take what everybody has excess of, in the government's opinion and in like this weird ass model of people who want money, right? Well, you got time. Okay. Again, what's your excess? And you have to give, potentially against your will, you have to give it. You're going to show up, and if you don't show up, it's going to be taken from you.
In the form of time
Right.
tax.
So you well, whatever your excess is.
Holy shit.
What if you're a fucking genius? We're going to put probes on your head and we're going to extract thought out of you. Whatever it is. But in most of these cases, it's people who don't, like AOC. If you can't work, if you don't want to work, fucking, she retracted that really quickly. But we're going to take your time. I'm like, you know what? I'll sign up for that.
Yeah.
Get my house painted. Get my leaves right.
And your fucking stuff stolen.
Not sure that's fair. In my model, we're not doing that.
In your model. There's a movie called In Time. Terrible movie. Justin Timberlake. I apologize. It's just the truth. But where the whole concept of the movie is that you get like a active tattoo, whatever. It's like a timer they stamp you with on your wrist, and you're born with, I think, 100 years. And it has like a barcode, and you pay money. It's just time. So like a cup of coffee is 4 minutes. It's like people don't get that that's what real life is like. It's time is literally money because your time is worth something because at any given point you could be making money just by doing something else.
Mowing a lawn, going to McDonald's, just fucking work at McDonald's.
Yeah. What's that called? Opportunity cost? Cost opportunity. Yeah.
The opportunity
cost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But isn't that interesting? I want your time. Come here. Do what I say. You come here. I get an hour of your time, and you do whatever the fuck it is I say you do.
You know what's funny is that...
Why do you get to do that? Because money is a universal exchange. So when you come here, your time is my universal exchange.
Mm-hmm. Well, time is also universal exchange. That's why people hire people to do shit. It's just...
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Your currency is time.
Yeah.
And when you arrive at my house,
yeah,
you can shovel shit. I can just say, I'm lonely, watch television with me, whatever.
You're providing a service that, yeah. You know what's funny is that idea on its face sounds terrible. I mean, like, you're such a horrible person. But
yeah, but
if you compare it to what's actually going on, you say, so right now, you get to do nothing all day long. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know what a welfare fucking queen does all day. Is it like you just literally do nothing? You just
I'm
collect
not even
checks?
saying welfare queen. I'm just saying if what you have is excess time, let's just do true barter. You're getting well, I guess there is a presumption that you're getting some sort of
right. That's
government.
what I'm saying. I'm saying like literally
yeah,
a
that's
check.
fair. That's fair. So go ahead and finish.
So like, all right. So right now, here's the plan. I make money, and the government says you got to make money in this country. We got to pay for shit. I'm taking money from you to pay for that shit. You're like, okay, that's fair. And it says, oh, by the way, part of paying for that shit is giving this money to other people who don't want to do what you're doing because they're in a bad spot. And I know the whatever quotation marks are somewhat arrogant and conceited, but come on, folks, you're watching the show. What do you do all day? Literally nothing. You feed yourself. You go to the bathroom, you clean yourself, hopefully.
And you play video games.
And or whatever. You go to the park and you fucking gossip with your friends. Yeah.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, what did I do? I furthered the American government, or the government of the United States of America. And you just got to feed off of it. Now, the other world is, instead of going to the park and gossiping with your friends while I'm at work, busting my ass, fucking waking up at 4 a.m. to go to bed at 8:30, to do it all over again the next day, is while I'm at work, you can come and clean my house, so that it's easier for me to make money for you on your behalf.
Well, that's the point.
Right. So I'm saying when you put those two in a T-chart, it's a lot easier to accept it than when you just say, they're going to fucking bring a time tax collector with a gun to your house to fucking make you come clean up my shit and rake my leaves.
Well, I was hoping people could do the math that you just laid out so clearly.
Gotta know your viewers.
Okay.
kidding.
Fair enough. Nope.
Got them. But I'm saying, like, current proposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way. It's just no one would ever. That's fucking horrible. You can't make. Those people are trying to get jobs. How many of them really are? Like really, really hard.
You got time. Come here. Break my leaves.
Yeah. It can even be at midnight. I don't care. You regular
Right.
night.
Right.
You can do shit during the day. It doesn't fucking bother me. If you want to go to the arcade in the day, during the day, or if you want to go to the pool, whatever it takes.
Right. But you resent the money I have. I resent, and I do. I resent the fucking free time you have.
I'm not there yet, but I will be. Like, if there's anything that pushes me away from this job, it's that I don't have, other than 1 day a week, a second to breathe. It's, and I'm fine now, but if it ever comes to that, that'll be the thing that makes me like resent that I just don't have time to do shit. And I don't even have as hard of a thing that I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm just fucking.
All right. Want to piss off?
We're close to a good closing point, so if you have a good fucking angry thing to say, this is perfect.
Oh, it's been an hour. No, this is going to take. You got 5 more minutes?
Yeah, go.
We can do this in 5 minutes. So I got a new friend. And she and I were talking about she's very into fitness.
Hot.
And just women in general, but I have a friend, and I was really close with her a long time ago. And she battled and struggled with weight. And I haven't seen her in a long time. She lives down south. She would spend an hour to an hour and a half from starting going into the shower versus finishing, including makeup. And she had like curling irons or straightening things or whatever. Minimum of an hour to get ready.
Just for vanity.
Hour and a, well, to look good.
Or to feel good about how you look.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it was driven by the weight problem.
Yeah.
So this fitness friend I'm talking with, we're just talking, and I'm like, okay, instead of, because this woman wears no makeup. She doesn't need makeup. Her skin's healthy and vibrant. She looks good. So instead of doing your hair and putting on makeup and doing all that shit, and it takes 60 to 90 minutes, just fucking work out 30 minutes a day.
Then you're like good to go.
You gain 30 minutes, your health improves, and like you said, you're good to go. You just get out of the shower, you towel dry your hair, maybe if you needed to take a blow dryer to it just to not be wet, and you're fucking done. And it takes you 15, 20 minutes to get ready, and you're out. And you feel better, and your health costs are less because you're healthy. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't. This gets down to a thing. I think your dad and I talked about this a lot, and we can talk about it more in another episode, which is people will do far more to avoid pain than gain pleasure.
Yep.
I'm sure you've heard that before.
And to her, the pain is going out in public looking like shit. Oh, you're talking about not working out. Yeah, to her, the pain is the working out. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
It
I don't
could
know.
be either one of those things.
I don't know, because I've always liked working out. It's funny. People are like, well, I don't like running. And right, I used to be a runner. It doesn't feel good. Well, it doesn't feel good because you don't do it.
When your heart is healthy, it's easier.
When your heart is healthy and you shed 50 pounds, right, and you're not slinging around, 2 appendages of flab.
Which I've seen. Yeah, right.
Well, actually, that person is hats off.
Yeah.
Hats off. I applaud people. If you see somebody out who's out of shape doing it, I know it's tougher for them than the person that's obviously been a runner for 10 years.
Unless it's January 1st or 2nd, because then you're going to give up on that.
Right. So it's April or past, right? Because you're not
It's not a New Year's resolution
you're not
anymore.
a failure. No, sorry. That's not nice. Anyway.
Well, I thought we were going to be mean on the ending. That's kind of our thing.
You know what?
Oh, we're not done yet.
It's December 20th. It's our last episode before Christmas.
Oh, shit. We didn't even have anything to do with Christmas.
We should have focused on nice.
Fuck. Nope. I just like being mean more. It comes more
Naughty.
naturally to me.
We're naughty. We're getting no gifts.
Being naughty. to describe a man's personality is easily the gayest way to describe him, especially when you say it like that. We're naughty.
That was not politically correct. All right, do we need to quit?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, okay, so I think we should do a transition. I don't know if I have one of my fucking fairy tale endings in me right now, my spontaneous rants, but we should try the new transition thing where we go from this screen to the other screen.
Oh, when we end? I can do that. That's easy.
So keep it the way that it's set up now.
No, that'll... You want to end it that way?
Yeah.
Payback's a bitch.
Wait, so
All right, so I guess we're done. I just want to say I've done a few things during the last few episodes that are consistent
I
with
shouldn't end it that way.
being a better version of me. No. Let's end on Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
payback is a bitch, so we'll end on that quick note. But that'll be self-evident in, 30 to several hundred seconds from
I
now.
was trying to say we should end on a good note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just happy.
Oh.
I've done things. I'm not even going to disclose them because that takes away from them. I'm not going to self-aggrandize.
That's good.
I've done some things that I'm happy.
That's good. So have I. I've worked hard, and for those of you out there who feel like, you're one of those people who says, it's not fair that you have that shit. I don't have that. I very much felt like I was on the brink of that, and the only thing that it took to come away from that, was determination, hard work, not giving up, and a little bit of luck, I guess. You have to know the right people. I mean, hard work is not something to be joked about because it is a real thing. People benefit from that all the time. And I'm thankful that people in my life are supportive enough for me to do that. And if you don't have those people in your life, fucking X them.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I will say this. The people that you said you had access to,
Yeah.
you had access to them because you worked hard.
That's also a good point.
If you were a slacker, you would not have been introduced to the people who helped get you where you are now.
And I was
And that-
something of an apple to be looked at right at that point.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, caught
So
an
part
eye.
of
Yeah.
it, part of it is, I'd rather be lucky than good, but this is cliche, but a lot of it is you create your own luck. And if you don't leave your house and go do the work, nothing good's going to happen. Period. That's a fact.
Yeah. I would
If
say,
you're doing the work, you're going to get recognized to some degree.
yeah. I would say this to end the show. We're almost done with the year. We got 11 days left before 2020. A new
Yeah.
decade. We're done with the year and we're done with the decade. It's going to be a new decade starting January 1st, 12 days from now. If you've had a bad year, if you're not, good with where you are, New Year's, great start for a new beginning. And fucking, that's cliche because of New Year's resolutions and stuff. But if you're not happy with where you are because of something that you've done or because of the way that you've acted, nothing is stopping you from starting over and getting a fucking fresh start and getting back up on that horse. Hit the reset button and have a good 2020.
And that's an awesome way to end it. And I'll say this, maybe we should focus on this a little more because you know what I know? I know as well as anybody how to push through a hard situation.
Yeah.
Maybe I could give a little more nice love and a little less tough love for a little bit.
There you go. Always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to think about.
So there we go. And on that note, I'm going to have the last word rather than you. Payback's a bitch, man.
Oh, it's off. Wait.
It was just on.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. If that doesn't encompass the
What the fuck?
holidays you celebrate. No, it's okay. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever else may apply.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And payback's a bitch. Later, dudes.